All right, Grand Rising, everyone. It's Shay Seeking, and we're back. So, again, I've been sitting here, going through a thing. Like I said, seeking source and just seeking myself, right? Again, because, there's just so much, I think, going on on the plane. Again, I'm to a point where, like, I feel like, yeah, okay, to a certain extent, I'm not late to the game. You know what I'm saying? I've already noticed, again, what has gone on. Again, when we're talking about the breath of God and the plague that came, again, there was one to come and bring this type of, can we call it like an indignation or something, right? So there's going to be people performing things on this plane that we're going to help or be connected with source in order to bring these things through. So again, we can look at this and we know that there has been a collapse and a reset, right? So again, I'm looking in Ezra, and it's talking about the mission of reform, right? And like I said, whole thing is some of us, okay, again, it's just is what it is. I'm just telling my story. So again, I'm going to go ahead and read this, but I'm going to come back and tell the story. It's going to be like story time, right? Because we're going to talk about some of the things that I've noticed with, again, the work that I had been doing and some of the heat that I was getting for the work that I was doing. And then, source showed me something. Like I told y'all, I had a dream. I saw some things. And again, we're going to go ahead. I'm trying to put it together so that it doesn't take too long to tell the story. But again, there's some suspect things going on, period. And again, so we're going to look at his story and we're going to look at this biblical text because, again, this is the Holy Land. There's no question about it. We have been talking about it on this channel for a very long time. There's hours and hours and hours worth of videos breaking things down to the bare minimum. We go through land, geographical things. We go through the text, comparing things. Again, it just is what it is, right? So again, the other thing that this channel was known for, and again, everything has slowed down for some reason, right? Again, because again, we're going to be targeted. And so on this channel, the main thing that we were doing was exposing the establishment, the structure of this whole thing, right? Talking about some of the things that were going on in media and breaking those things down and some of the, what can we call them? I want to choose a term that, false flags. We'll use false flags that were going on. We were the channel. This is the channel that was breaking those particular things down. Now you have some people that came into this so-called community. Some of them seem to be very, very prepared. Some of them seem to work their way. I just see like a serpent working his way up a pole and into high places and into positions of power and, on the news, and a lot of these people point other people out to be the agents. But, most of the time when people are talking about agents and pointing agents out all the time and coming on other people's channels and taking information when they're trying to call out agents and they're trying to call out falsities within the community. And again, for me, I said one thing about something that some of these people were working on. And since that day, I put that video out. That is when all the catastrophe came into my life. So I said, hey, this has to be something from higher up. But then as I went through and source says, slow down and just pay attention. Say something about this, say something about that, and then you'll see. You're going to see, right? Because I don't make it a habit. I'm seeking source. Yes, I have soul siblings and people that I deal with, and I respect their work. And again, anybody that's trying to put forth anything that is going to help unchain the brain is, all right with me. Again, I told y'all the information is not mine. But you'll have people that have been pitted against me that are using my information. So again, it just reminded me of something that we're going to go ahead and read here. And again, I know I see family ties somewhere, deep down somewhere there's family ties, but I see that there's another connection there. And I'm thinking something to do with, even like I don't know why I'm seeing like something to do with sorority or something like this, right? And again, a lot of people will, you'll bring up these things and then you'll see the people that are on guard about these things or try to take these things and turn them into something as if you're talking about somebody else when they know exactly who it is. So again, it's just like, I see it like, let me see. I see it like, hold on. This is what I see it like. I'm gonna go ahead. We got this image here, of the Empress, right? She kind of looks like, the Virgin Mary in a sense, right? She has her holy crown on, almost like the sun, because then when I'm talking about these things and we're talking about he or the Lord, a Lord can be a Lordess as well. A God in this text can be a goddess as well. We just have to know which ones and what we're talking about, okay? I find some things just real funny. Like, I don't know, I'm a visionary. Like, well, a visionary, yes, but I'm someone that's very visual, right? And I noticed on this one too, here, like this image that I found, okay? I found this interesting. The brightest star, the star, right? And then you see her sitting there with the kid or the lamb on her lap, right? Which is going to be the sun. And I don't know why I'm just thinking of like a 10-year-old again. That would be just like their mother. And her toe and her hair is dipped in the water. Right? But then we see this devil, right? Again, and everybody look at this in a different sense or whatever. Working his way up the pole. Fiery serpent. You see that? It's a beautiful image, right? But again, I find it funny that on this channel, we were exposing certain things on the fake media or so-called fake news. And it just so happens that some of these people that are calling other people agents have been on these stations. And again, I'm someone who was calling out some things that they were doing. I'm someone that was calling out people that were doing fake things on the news and how you can't trust it. You got to be very vigilant about what's going on in the news and certain coded things that are in headlines. And here we go, finding out that people are on these stations and speaking about so-called presidential candidates like Biden and things. And around this time, again, I had put up a couple of videos about these particular people. Well, not the regular, not the person, right? Okay. But the people in the political arena. So it's just funny that my life starts crashing down when I make one comment about something again. And again, I think it was misunderstood. Really, I was just saying that, hey, we need to drop all this stuff right now and focus. This was when they were talking about, mandatory, what's to children. And I said, hey, we need to stop all this stuff right now. And we need to focus on what we're going to do to be making sure that this ain't going to be happening. But people took it as though I was coming against whatever it was that they brought to the table. Okay. And again, the only reason why I'm doing this is clarifying my name. Obviously, there's a smear campaign going on that I don't know where, how, or what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? There's something going on that is more advanced than I can even recognize. But it's not going to stop me from telling my truth. And once I see certain things and someone comes to me in my dreams, because I'm a very intuitive person and I pay attention, and I don't pay attention to these worldly things and worldly ways. And people may even look at me as like the poor woman, right? In a sense. But again, thou art rich. Because they think they know, because they see one side of the story and then they go with that and then they clip things up to make it look some kind of way. And this is what it is. But sources, I've been seeking source more and more and more and seeking myself at the same time. And I see exactly what's been going on. So we're going to go ahead and just read this here, right? Because we're going to read chapter 10 about the discharge of strange women. Okay. And again, it's probably not right. Everybody want to make me feel like it's not right to speak or just don't say nothing or it's not your turn. No, motherfucker, it's my turn all the time. See, because again, people don't really know. And it's not about being cocky or anything. It's about telling my story. And that's just it. source is speaking to me and through me. And so I'm going to speak what we're talking about. And again, when you have been given eyes to see and ears to hear to a certain extent, what are we hiding for? Like, we're not paying attention. Because I know that some of these people actually they have to be at least aligned with somebody that's speaking. They have to be at least aligned with someone. Okay. Hold on one second. In a higher place. Again, these things have happened in history. Okay. We're going to go ahead and talk about this too. We're going to talk about a couple things here. Okay. It's been said already that these things would come. So we seek and source in the book is telling us. We're dreaming dreams is telling us. We're seeing visions, right? We're hearing things. We're having a sense of knowing these particular things because, again, those things are going to be hidden from the righteous ones. You know, I posted something about Mary, Queen of Scots today because I was just in her zone today. You know, I was in the spirit of her today. Even Queen Elizabeth, the versions that they show us. And how they were telling her they've already burned you, you know, and they were saying, you know, she said, well, you know, I'm gonna have to go ahead and do what I got to do. And I'm gonna have to take one of these people as her consort or her person. And I told you guys this has been seeming like a whole like courtship or something that's been going on, but in 2020, not 1620. So again, they won't have to bring you into anywhere. They'll just bring something in to observe what you're doing. And then they're going to put idols. There's a big problem with idols in here. There's a big problem with those who have been grafted into certain family lines, and then the blood, the ones that have the blood of Christ, not just on them to protect them, but running through their veins. So again, we're going to have some people that are going to be focused on the word and source, and we're going to have faith in that, and we're going to lean onto that more than anything. You're going to have people that deal with worldly things and documents that have been brought to us by foreign nations and foreign entities in order to set things up and make things look the way that they want to look. Okay? But before we even start, let's go ahead and look at these images. You know, and I'm just seeing exactly at this point, you know, and I just keep seeing this term war. War, and I keep hearing it. Other people that are connected or tapped in, you know, it's just a thing because things are going on again, right? So we have a problem even through this time when I was being isolated or whatever, you know. And again, it just gave me time to really go in. I find myself again. I know that there were certain things, certain energies or crafts thrown my way in order to knock me off my throne. Again, we go back to even the show American Gods and Bilquis again, and how all of the men were coming to knock her off their throne. And again, it's not going to be happening. So society is going to play some part, but we're going to know what it really is. Okay. So again, you'll have times when, you know, I have people, you know, even come into my group and comment on my images and try to make me feel like I'm not American or American enough. Or to come in and, hold on, what? It's in the refrigerator. Or, you know, make comments on certain things as if it doesn't fit a certain description. And I say, you know, come on now. Okay, so we have, at one point in time, we have, you know, natives or Indians that look like these guys here at the top, right? I think these are Sioux. Some of these are Sioux Indians, right? Which again would be, I think it's Yamasee that's connected to the Bruton name too, along with the Stewarts of North Carolina, and Miles Bruton, the Bruton Plantation, things like this, right? So again, this is just the story that, again, I feel like, you know, you've been prepared. You've been getting prepared, girl. Use what you've been, you know what I'm saying? You got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? While everybody else, not everybody else, but certain people, I wondered why, because I really don't care. If I want to know something, I'm gonna seek source. If I want to know something, I'm gonna do it myself. The only thing I've ever asked anybody is for like a tip or two, again, but you can't get that from some people. And then you wonder why, you know, because, you know, it's a competition, and I'm just blinded to the whole thing. Like, what's going on? Am I just figuring this out? And so again, all of this distraction, all this energy being sent towards my home to break up my family, to, you know, make me feel some kind of way. So, and then we have, you know, these we have many, and you can go through the channel. We go through all this stuff all the time. And then you have these Indians here. We know tobacco was a big problem, right? Somebody was going to be moving in to try to get something, right? So then you have these, and then I noticed like how in the South they split up the families, the darker versions, again, of our family. I think it's more Texas, Georgia, and I can't remember what other place. Texas, Georgia. I don't know if it was Alabama, because I know there's a Bruton, Alabama, but I think some of them originally were from the north, the Northeast. I'm thinking Maryland or something like that. I know it was like one of the grands that was, I think she passed away. Her name was Mary, and she passed away at like 120 years old. But then we have, like I said, these Indian images here. But we'll notice that below this image says that these are the German tobacco Indian. Okay? When we know that, again, when we talk about Asia Minor and things like this, right? And we know that, again, in 1491, I think it was, that they say that so-called China had been already dipping and dapping in the Americas. And so, again, we look at the German-American history of the migration or immigration, and they migrated to America for a variety of reasons. Push factors involved worsening opportunities for farm ownership in Central Europe. Now, again, I don't know why Central Europe, and, they may be talking about Europe, but are we talking about Europeans that were coming in different areas north of the Carolinas, right? Because the Sioux Indians, again, it's just the research that I've done. It goes back to Sumeria. It's just bottom line what it is in my eyes. Which is the oldest, if not one. I think the Phoenician is pretty old, but and it just so happens that on this channel, we were able to break down some of those tablets and show that all this time they're sitting here talking about this as some kind of text when we're looking at images here. The cuneiform. And I'm wondering, why am I doing all this stuff? Why about 10 years ago have I been pulled out of whatever I was doing and thrown into this and just going? You know what I'm saying? And I knew I was on a mission, or there was a purpose, right? I'm just showing the variation. Again, you can look within the community, or you can look with, again, whoever knows what's going on or whatever, because obviously it wasn't for me to know. So, what I'm saying is this whole thing about a head start. And people coming in, out of nowhere into the community with an abundance of information and, things like this, documentaries and everything. And out of nowhere, they seemed to be doing something else before. But again, I mean, this is all a collective, but I'm just saying nobody's going to come in and be talking about who don't belong and we're going to show it in the text. All right. So it says, worsen opportunities for farm ownership in Central Europe, persecution of some religious groups. It's concerning when people are talking about, certain people are going to have to go. And I'm thinking, go where? Because we're going to see that the Most High talking about some of these people building and doing wrong and putting up idols. And because they chose to do this, they're going to lose it all. And military conscription. It says pull factors were better economic conditions, especially the opportunity to own land and religious freedom. So while they have religious freedom, some of us have been toiling away at the word, dealing with source. And they think they just gonna come up in here because they've been in certain positions and situations and maybe intertwined with certain noblemen and things like this. And do what you do, but you don't start talking about what's going to be going down when it comes to other people. Because a lot of these people, I do general things. A lot of these people were on a straight track thing, and they can change. It's fine. It's just fine. I'm just saying. I'm trying to bring awareness to what, like I said, Source is saying to me or showing me. So again, we talk about land. This can also be talking about people, the earth, the soil, overseers. So there's a lot of things that are being set up that resemble that today. And my thing is to bring claws to it. My thing is to bring awareness to it. Not really to even really tear anybody down on that level. It's just to show that there is another way. So yeah, this is talking about the Dutch. And again, this kind of correlates with the storyline that we were talking about with the whole, dang, I don't even know if I put it on this channel. I think I might have put it on another platform. I'll have to check and put it up here. When we were looking at the layout, the geographical layout, and I think we were in the book of Jeremiah. Okay, so it says very few of the German states had colonies in the New World. In 1670, excuse me, 70, the first significant group of German immigrants arrived in the British colonies. Okay, settling. Okay, so again, this is taking me back up to, yeah, Pennsylvania. Oh, and I think that may have been even one of those places, if I'm not mistaken. Because there was something about a whole bunch of land. Maybe it was, I don't know if it was Maryland or Pennsylvania, that this young girl, they actually, when I was looking at some stuff in the family, they had taken some land away from her, and they had something to do with a railroad track, and I don't know, or some stuff that was being placed there or whatever. So it says settling in Pennsylvania, New York, and Virginia. The Mississippi Company. Oh, I think we talked about that in that video too. But it was more so talking about the Mississippian. No, we were talking about the Mississippian culture. So the Mississippi Company of France moved thousands of Germans from Europe to Louisiana and to the German coast, Orleans territory. Orleans. Because, there's this whole thing of this three. It just keeps coming up. It's just this thing about three, or a group, or a community. I saw a card the other day about the three of, I think it was the Three of Pentacles. But it showed like three women, like witches, like they were conjuring up things or whatever. And it says something about community. Hold on, let me see if I have that card. The picture of that card. Sources, I'm just telling you. And again, I just say what is on my mind. Sometimes I just feel like, let me see. Let's see. Okay. Because I just got to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just say what I see. I'm a seer, and I'm just going to say what I see. I should not have to be quiet because it's not the worldly way of doing things. Teamwork, collaboration, effort, learning, shared goals, grow, recognition, expansion. So again, when I look at this though, I was thinking, this growth and expansion, the growth and expansion. But again, it's it just tells me a lot more. Okay, because we have to go back to family ties and certain jurisdictions where certain people lived, and certain family conflicts that were even amongst those people in that time. Certain family ties, again, that one may be aware of and one may not. So I stick to the word. Source provides. I can't think that he's not going to be able to do that. Even when it comes to like the Samoan, the earlier cultures in Hawaii, and finding out information about one of my grandmothers that, again, their names are very significant there, her and her mother's. I mean, it's just so many things that we just don't realize have all been happening or happened. Again, this is why our story had been lost, and we only get 1 month to talk about the same people over and over again. There's some things that are hidden, but again, Source will make sure that they come to light. But I've noticed some of these, just like some features and stuff of certain people and family ties and names and things like that, and I try not to, like I said, I try not to really, if I feel like somebody don't really deal with me, I try to just cut ties or whatever, because ties, again, even when it comes to following people or walking with people on social media, once I feel a kind of way, I just got to cut that off, because I've learned over time that kind of energy is still transferable. So again, we just keeping in mind, I'm just talking, and we just keeping in mind some of these things to try to tell our story. Okay? And again, I think a lot of people may not even be aware, or they may not see things that way, and again, so it's not really, it's just telling the story. So I'm just wondering if we know that we're in these times and these things are being set up, how could we not realize that these things are going on? And it's usually the ones that have the know-how or already have a head start, or they already have something, And that thing is usually something that they mostly have benefited from. And again, just like the word, I benefit from staying in the word. There's a sense of calmness, joy, and it's just strange. Like I told you guys, this happened not that long ago. I couldn't even read I didn't even want to read the Bible, because I would fall asleep after like one chapter. And then something happened, like I said. And I'm not going to let anybody stop me from telling my story. And it's just sad. It's sad that people can, try to come and pick somebody apart, and just I sense like the negative energy. Again, right now, I feel like I'm in a bubble of protection. But like I said, for this amount of time, we have to be able to separate the worldly ways and the gods of this world from what spirit is doing. And we have to be able to see these things, or else it's going to be a reoccurring instance where the same thing is going to happen over again. So I'm not really like dealing just with, the things like I showed you, the images and things like this and features and stuff like that. It's a whole thing. We're dealing with visions, the text. We're dealing with the whole thing. Just even encounters that I've had. We're dealing with the whole thing. And we are out there. Again, we just are the ones that are pushed off to the side because they don't want the truth. Same thing. But even when I was telling the truth about these things, see, and I should know better. So even when this energy came my way, it took me a while to figure it out. And I should know better but I'm thinking like, no, people can change, things can happen, I mean, Source gonna use who he want to use. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of confusing, right? Especially when you have like certain instances when you feel as though something is happening where source or something is trying to tell you to like leave your stuff behind and again, pick up the cross. Like what in a sense are we really talking about? Did Christ have to be sacrificed? I feel more so like, yeah, it was a choice. And this time, I don't think so. Things are going to be put right in the place that they're supposed to be. I mean, it's the same thing. Like when you, it's kind of like this whole, I'm getting this whole like a Christ-like thing, just like Israel and then the Israelites. We have been very ignorant as to what the word is saying, including myself. But I'm just glad. I just feel, I'm just, again, happy to, I guess, serve in this way. And it may seem like, it's the, it's the least favorable way to serve. But at the end of the day, it's not. It's very fulfilling. And all of these things that have happened and occurred have built me. And you know what I'm saying? So again, some of this stuff, like I said, I think that, yes, it's some of the source put me through or put us through some of this stuff, right? To get us somewhere, to get us in a certain mindset, to make me remember. Because he said, it's like, come on, you fell off. Go back to your first ways or your first love. And I'm thinking like, well, but that's talking, like this about, or it just seems to, bring bad, mm-mm. That ain't how you was built. What is you talking about? So it's the remembrance of just even having the ancestors around and really taking time to listen and pay homage to. Is starting to have them feel so much closer and connecting with other people that are seers and other people. It has been kind of empowering in a sense for me. Things that, like I said, have been frowned upon for the people to do these particular things. But once you really see what it really means, it's really not. And so it just so happens that other seers are going to help you see. So again, like-minded people. They want to keep you, in fear or distracted or around people. Again, I had to learn that whole thing. If nobody's listening, but this is just my channel. So I guess I do know that someone's listening, even if the algorithm or shows just one view. I know it's something else. It's something bigger than us. Okay. So again, this is just about setting the record straight. So we're in that Christ consciousness, and that's what we're doing. And that's just a layman's term. Call it what you want. Okay. There's going to be an argument of what it's called. We ain't got time for that. Just what it is. You know what I'm saying? What it is. And we're dealing with matters of the heart. Okay. Because I think matters of the heart is the thing that led us astray. Let's see. So again, we talked about that stuff, and I didn't even really want to start it off like that, but I kind of just wanted to let you know where I was coming from. Because again, I feel like they got their nerves. And this is the important thing that, like I said, when I try to bring this to the table, people get offended. I'm not trying to say like, don't like people and don't trust your people and don't no, I'm saying that just be aware that in times there were people, when we're talking about in Genesis 1, when it says, let the earth join with the earth, what could we be talking about? We're talking about first having darker view people from different lands come here to the Americas first. The people here didn't realize that they were brothers or connected with other groups, that they were scouts or see? So it's like among us. I don't know why I just thought about that. Like something among us. And so it's very important to, know these things so that we know the story for what it is. And not to, like, we're different today. Yeah, we are the people that came from those people, but we're different today. And if we knew what was going on, we could probably take a different approach to it. But then some of these people are going to have the same intentions in the same ways as their fathers. How it says, you're like your father, the devil or Satan. And I'm just saying this is the way that the text look at it. But, so again, it says the discharge of strange women. It says, now when Ezra was thus praying and beseeching and weeping and lying before the temple of God, there was gathered to him Israel, an exceeding great, assembly of men and women and children. Goodness. So since they're labeling it like this, in this particular chapter, at this particular time, yes, I feel like we are talking about men, women, and children. Possibly, right? But minors are children. Women are second class citizens or commoners, peasants, and servants, and then sometimes those that are in the underworld, right? Or in the Sheol, or in the undesirable or dilete people. And then men. So man left his mother and father land to join with his wife here in the Americas. So he's going to be looked at as the man. And he's going to be marrying women, because women would be owning land. Or he would be invading or warring with women, because again, the term women can also mean men, women, and children. So they were warring with those nations and killing or capturing the males, sending them off to war and things like this. And then the women, they were taking them on to themselves as doubters or dowry. So it says, so again, you can look at it either way until we really go through it and see what it's really saying. It said, and the people wept in much lamentation. And again, I think that this is, no. This is talking about the energy that's on this plane right now that came with that sword that we showed in that video the other day, Justice. You see, that had that blindfold on with that sword and the serpent under her feet. See, there's something to it. Hold on. Okay. So again, these are the people lamenting because they are seeing certain things occurring, and they're wondering how and why. And they've been doing certain works against certain individuals, and they're wondering how and why. So they're lamenting now. You notice how the other day, I think in the headlines, they said, oh, why don't the Republicans want to even speak about this anymore? It's like they're scared. They don't want to say anything. I wonder why. I'm just saying, this is this is going down. It's going down. And you have people in the worldly realm trying to still hold on to that way. And it's not going to happen. And I'm just telling y'all now. I've been telling y'all from before. I know it is, we said it before and you didn't need to do it. We feel like we didn't need to do it, but I hope that people have thick pantries. That's all I'm saying. And, a form of protection if you believe in that or not. Okay. And the people wept in much lamentation. And Sachenius, the son, which again, son just means descendant in etymology. So it can mean a female too. A lordess, an empress, or an emperor. Again, because it's not even, and then even I'm telling you, when we're talking about androgyny, or like a hermaphrodite, I know they give us a imagery and a perception of, but it can also have to do with the makings of your genes. It can have to do with those people that have been just built different. It made me think about even like think like a man, right? Think like a man. I don't know. This is making me think about something like that. And why women that are stand up for themselves are considered to be unruly or something to be dealt with or handled, or they'll say that they're witches and then try to burn them or sacrifice them or, remove them from certain places. It's just things like this, or try to examine and say who's fit and who's not. But again, we're supposed to be dealing with, to each his own. But the righteous are going to be less worldly than anything. But that's going to be looked down on and laughed at when you're a minimalist. When you don't want nothing to do really with money or with certain things. You start pulling away from everything, coming out of her. They want to party still. And that's the thing. We're talking about, like, it just made me think about that Babylon when people were being drunkards and still partying and everything like this. And I guess we all have our things that we focus on. You know, we have our things that we're working on and our things that we're focusing on. I'm not knocking those things at all. People cannot get that through their head. All I'm saying is some of us wasn't put here to do that. I'm happy with my life, the way it is. There's some things that can change. Yes. There's definitely some things that can change. I may not even have noticed those things until Source or whoever started sending that energy my way to re-examine things. But again, it's just like at that time, I'm like, okay, you know, I'm feeling this energy or whatever, but it's like, I don't look at marriage the same way. I look at it as a piece of paper and some kind of contract or some kind of form that we sign in order to sign ourselves and our children back over to the governing forces in a way as some kind of property. You know, I don't look at it as what they look at it as, you know, matrimony or whatever. Again, I would probably look that up in etymology to see what that really means. But again, it's just like at times in my life, it's like, you know, Source is saying I'm trying to set something up or whatever, but like, you know, I had these different energies coming in and, you know, I had to battle with, I'm just going to say it, I had to battle with like, is he trying to tell me that I don't need to be in my marriage anymore? You know, like, what are we talking about? You know, like, why would he do this kind of thing or whatever, you know? And I'm just thinking to myself, like, I didn't look, you know, it's something I don't feel comfortable talking about that much, but at the same time, I feel like there's some kind of something as to, I don't know, maybe I just felt like I just needed to say that or whatever. That, you know, some people can be looked at as like it's an easy task or something for you to have to detach from something or whatever. But, you know, it's really about, you know, is this something other kind of negative energy that wants to break and tear my family apart? Like, is this witchcraft or something, you know, that somebody's doing to try to do this and rip my family apart? Or is this Source calling me to a higher purpose? And either way, it's a battle. Either way, it's something you got to really go into, you know, and then to be alone and like not even, you know, really have people around you trying to really, you know, connect with Source, but you're dealing with yourself too, and you're dealing with everything that's going on, and you just like, wait a minute, I don't, you know, I mean, it just don't sound right from what we learned in religion, but, you know, is it really? You know, when you have a higher purpose or calling, you know, do you just abandon everything? You know, like for a mother, again, someone that has been doing what I've been doing for, you know, a long time, like that's been my job or whatever, you know. It just was hard. And just like even during that time, like going through some of the things, obstacles and stuff, and just like I'm just now getting back on my house kind of stuff. And, you know, it was a lot. It was just a lot, you know. And I think that people misused certain things, even if we are under some kind of observation. I think people misuse things, and I think they altered things to try to make something look some kind of way, you know. And again, you know, that's just what it is for me. Okay. So anyway, that was a long story. I'm just talking, ain't I? And we ain't even reading. Let's keep going. I just want to read a little bit of this. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Okay. So again, it's talking about, and the people wept. Okay. The son of, Jahel of the son of Elam answered and said to Edras, we have sinned against our God. Wait, what is this name? Gehiel. So we see El at the end, like Elohim, but Jehiel, the son of Elam, answered and said to Ezra, we have sinned against our God and have taken strange wives. So anyways, we can look at it however you want to look at it, but I think that I'm getting Asherah of America here. It's just what I'm thinking. You know, even Yah, you know, that term in general, that term specifically. Because I think that now I am seeing that when they're saying Yah, that maybe that is the jealous, so-called jealous God that they're talking about in the text. You know, because again, they're talking about taking strange wives and they sinned against. And so if that is, you know, that would make somebody mad or jealous or something, you know, because I kind of like seem like we're talking about idol worship. It says, and now if there be repentance in Israel concerning this, let us make a covenant with the Lord our God. So again, I don't see what I'm saying? We're talking about strange wives of the people of the land. You know, that's kind of like what we were just reading right there in that thing about the Germans. And now if there be repentance in Israel concerning this, let us make a covenant with the Lord our God. So I don't know why I would not say just God. You know, it's specifically saying our God. So that makes you think that there's another God, at least one more, possibly, to put away all the wives. And such are as are born of them. And this is also, you know, making me think about the angels coming down, or the watchers. And such are born of them according to the will of the Lord, and of them that fear the commandment of the Lord our God. So this is a specific God, right? For these specific people. And they're talking about fear the commandments of the Lord our God. So were they dealing with commandments of a different God? Maybe a foreign entity? Let it be done according to the law. Again, what law? What law? See? And that's what I'm saying. I mean, there's the law of God and there's the law of the governing forces. But either way, ordinance, rule, authority, regulation governed by the same laws, a right, a legal privilege, a law, literally to lay down. Because again, that's the sense I'm getting, not even knowing, like I'm pulling all this from source in the word, not even knowing, but this is the sense that I'm getting, that something or someone wants to have me, it's like man down, fixed or set, to lie, L-I-E. Again, etymology, what does it say here? Rare in Old English. So it wasn't really used in Old English, which we're dealing with like an Asiatic groups of people being here prior. Then we're dealing with Europeans, and then we're dealing with Germans, and we're dealing with, see, Irish after that, so on. And so, but the French, you know, they have been here too. Set up or establish. So again, it also means set up or establish, but it says compared to the statute, German law, High German. So again, we're talking tobacco. We're talking about this land. We're talking about, we know we was already dealing with tobacco and everything here. We already know that when they talk about ancient Egypt, they're saying that, you know, certain thing like cocaine that was originated in the Americas being inside of the some of the mummies or the remains, again, because ancient Egypt is in America. It's just plain and simple. They have all your stuff. Idol worship. So while you want to go there and visit that, that's modern day. Ancient is here. Same thing with your Jerusalem, Virginia, or Cortland, Virginia, or Virginia. And I'm thinking, are we talking the land of Ur? All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. This is the way people, I mean, you don't have to. I'm just saying, if you really want to understand what's going on right now and what these people are getting ready to do. Whole time is also causing a division amongst the people. Sometimes just this, sometimes just even, shh. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me, right? Because again, I feel like this is a part of my purpose. It may not be everybody's purpose, but I feel like it's a part of mine. So it's hard for me to just not. Okay. Let it be done according to the law. Arise, it is thy part to give orders, and we will be with thee. Take courage and do it. So Ezra arose and made the chiefs of the priests and of the Levites and all Israel to swear that they would do according to this word. And they swore. And Ezra rose up from before the house of God and went to the chambers of Johanan, the son of Elisib. That's what it says. And entered into thither. He ate no bread and drank no water, for he mourned for the transgression of them that were come out of captivity. A proclamation. Now, I don't know why this is making me think the fourth is coming up. What was that, 5? Ezra 5, yeah, 5, 6. Okay, well, now we're in 7. And a proclamation was made in Judah and Jerusalem. Are we talking to Cortland, Virginia? Jerusalem, or the one that, the newer, from like 1940 something? So again, they show you the physical things that are happening in war there. But there's a silent war, a spiritual war on the true people in the true land. And the proclamation was made in Judah and Jerusalem and all the children of captivity that they should assemble together into Jerusalem, and that whatsoever would not come within 3 days, according to the counsel of the princes and the ancients, at all his substance should be taken away, and he should be cast out of the company. The company. We talking about a corporation? And again, so like I said, if this is supposed to be happening right now, where are the details? Why do it seem like some people know some of this stuff? Why do it seem like some people are underneath the wing of something? And they have a guideline or a rule book. And some of us just going to have to fend for ourselves. Because they would rather place strange women or idols in these positions that fit their benefit, that work the way they want them. They don't want nobody coming in with that sword. They want it to be the way and comfortable for them. They don't want the no nonsense. But what's going to happen, and what has happened, is they're going to end up taking in strange women. These strange women going to do strange things. And there's going to be strange things occurring. Bottom line. Some of us are spiritual in a sense. People do tarot. Again, I'm telling you, the Torah has a lot to do with these things. Ezekiel's will is the will from the tarot deck. Okay. But when we're talking about other types of magic and witchcraft and sorcery and things that we spoke about on this channel before, and we don't realize that people that we know within the community could be using these particular things against other people. And it's all fun and games, and everybody just want to be quiet and everything, act like that it ain't going on until something, happens. Again, ain't nobody got to like me at the end of the day. But I'm going to use this word to keep on speaking the way that I am. So again, there's family ties and stuff going on around here. And some people have been very prepared and they know exactly who you are. And we're just now having our eyes open so we can see who the hell they are. They had their turn. So again, that now it's making me think about that coming with fire. And we got a red shirt on today. I don't even like red. Yeah. So again, this is the kind of stuff that I've been feeling and sensing. Like, you're supposed to be doing something. But see, I feel like, we're supposed to have counsel here too. But the council chose to choose sides. Or according to the council of the princes. So these are the noblemen that these people would have their hands on. They would be getting some type of assistance from these particular people. While other people would have to be under observation, but fending for themselves. And it's to look as if they're doing these wondrous things, but really, where you come from? Who sent you? So the Council of Princes and the Ancients, again, those are I look at them as the OGs. That even we talk about OG in here. The old souls. Those that are somewhat born again in a sense, or we've been here before. And all the substance should be taken away, and he should be cast out of the company and of them that were returned from captivity. Then all the men of Judah and Benjamin gathered themselves together to Jerusalem within 3 days in the 9th month, on the 20th day of the month. Hold the hell on. Hold on. Hold on. I need to just go ahead and give me one of these. Hold on. Calendar. What did it say? The 9th month? Which one is the 9th month? I know it's like a two month kind of separation or something. Let's see. Of July. Wait, hold on. Is it June? Oh, is it? Jerusalem wall breached. That's making me think about this Delta strain or strand. Let's see. And what's today? The 29th? I want to make sure that this is right though. The 9th month. Goodness, is it really gonna give me this much of a hard time? Here, let me just try to go to images real quick. The 9th month would be, let's see. Wait, Tammuz is the 4th. Tashish, the 5th. The 9th, okay. The 9th month would be November, December. But it's kind of like starts with, I guess, like from the 1st to the 30th, or however, it's kind of weird like that. And this, okay. So yeah, Tammuz. But it just said Tammuz there. June, July. Let me see. What was that I just read? Goodness, I should have took a picture of it. You see, this is how I get too many screenshots on my phone. Hold on, let's go back. Okay. So yeah, the 3 days, within 3 days. Okay, and the month. Oh, but see, this is something I got to do. It's something that separate, I guess, that I'm going to have to do later. Because I don't know why I'm seeing like 8 months ago or something. I don't know. Like I told y'all, it's been since maybe it was the winter, okay, that this whole thing had started. This like massive like shaking and waking. I call it like an earthquake or whatever that happened. So I don't know why I'm seeing like 8 months, or I don't know, a 8 shape or something. But anyways, I feel like something happened. Oh, yeah. Oh, when was the whole voting thing? Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm seeing. All right. We'll keep that for later. Right? Okay. So it's in, then all the men of Judah and Benjamin gathered themselves together to Jerusalem within 3 days in the 9th month, on the 20th day of the month. And all the people at the street in the house of God trembled because of the sin and the rain. Okay, so again, this rain is also talking about something maybe like a rule. Okay, because again, what else was going on around that time? All these strict regulations and rules. And Ezra the priest stood up and said to them, "You have transgressed and taken strange wives to add to the sin of Israel. And now, and see, it's going to be the righteous ones that's going to have to serve this, because of the people that were in their worldly ways, we'll just say, decided to do these things. The people that might be even in elevated statuses chose to do these things." I'm going to stop this because I don't even know if we're going to be able to upload it. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. I'll be right back to finish this. And we're going to go ahead and go through it kind of quick. I apologize.